Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 2nd of March 2021. I didn't get a chance to do a video yesterday, which was Monday the 1st of March. So I'm going to do a quick rundown today after the look ahead, obviously, and we'll see what's going on. It's the first time I'm actually sitting down to have a really good look at the markets. So the euro, as you can see, and I'll just say now, obviously, when you plan everything out, it's nice to see things unfolding in that way, but it's important to also know if things don't unfold that way, the information it gives you is priceless, because it means your analysis is wrong, but kind of right at the same time. Wrong in the respect that the direction you were expecting or the level that you were expecting to be traded to is incorrect. Right in the respect of, well, it shows you where price wants to go. Yeah, I know it's kind of a weird way of saying it, but you need to have a plan. You need to know, during the weekend, if you have an idea of where you're looking for your levels, it's just a question of allowing price to unfold, doing its thing, and then you can kind of take it from there. So we had a really nice drop on euro, straight into this area. You can see that we made a note of this, rebalance some of this over here, and really nice price response away from that. If we just go over to the daily, again, we're kind of stuck between these two levels, which we know, but we've dipped here into the, so again, just to keep things really simple, guys, all right, we've got an area here where there's a bunch of liquidity. Price dipped into it just there, all right, so it grabbed some liquidity there, it grabs some more here, it grabs some more here, but when it grabs some more here, yeah, that was after offloading up here, yeah, so have a think about that. All right, that's a little something to just have a think about as we're continuing through the episodes in the series. And I'll quickly repeat, we picked up some liquidity here, it grabs some more here, and it grabs some more here, but this one, it grabs liquidity, okay, after it's offloaded liquidity up here, yeah, in relation to these two. So these areas of pickup, yeah, were probably offloaded up here, and then it picks up fresh buy here, yeah. So what does that mean for future direction? Yeah, which side of the market is in control right now? Is it the buy side or the sell side? Have a think. So with that said, in terms of where price effectively should be going now, or could be going, not should, which making it sound like we always know. We don't always know. But in terms of where price could potentially be going next, we've got this again. It's gone down there. It's cleared some stuff out. So what you'll generally tend to find is when price clears liquidity, okay, you'll either get an aggressive response away from that level because price needs to find liquidity somewhere else, or it starts to slow down. If it starts to slow down, you may get a continuation, yeah, or you may get a reversal, but the slowdown itself means that you've had objective fulfillment, which means whatever needed to be fulfilled, whatever orders needed to be fulfilled, on a longer term basis, yeah, it's a much longer drawn out thing. So to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, let's say over a period of 6 months there is a huge accumulation of buy orders, right, and all of that is offloaded 6 months later, yeah, and then price starts to go sideways. That's objective fulfillment. It's taken 6 months to accumulate a load of buys. There's been loads of sells as well in between all of that, but it's a huge buy position, and then eventually it offloads that buy position. It's 6 months down the line, and then it starts to go sideways as it starts to accumulate either more buys or more sells, or decides which side it wants to go. Yeah. Whereas if you get an aggressive response away, it just means price is seeking for liquidity, and the higher time frame is still in play. Or the higher time frame direction is still in play, and it means that there is a much larger liquidity pool, okay, that price is still going to end up reaching for. Now that's really important, what I've just said, and you may need to go back and re-listen to the last sort of 2 or 3 minutes just to really get a good understanding of what I've said. So we've only had one drop into this area of liquidity here, okay, and we've had a huge offload here. Price rapidly moved away, and then we had a really aggressive drop here to dip into this, slow down, okay, and a little bit of a bounce here. So if you take a bit of a bigger picture, okay, on the weekly, I mean, I think it's sideways now. We're basically playing with intraday volatility on euro. So with all of, basically with everything that I've just said, the analysis that I've just done on euro is basically telling us, or telling me anyway at least, that it's just purely intraday volatility. If I want to trade this, it's just going to be a bit scalping, little ranges, picking up pockets of liquidity, and that's about it really. So there's not much else. Missed the trade really. I don't like trading on Mondays, so even if I saw it, I probably wouldn't have done anything with it anyway on this account. So we need more information. Even if it goes up and takes out this, it's going to hit this. Okay, so we're effectively stuck. And I know we've got quite a little bit on our chart, and I am going on a little bit about Euro USD, but I'm going to throw this up here as well. So this area just here, okay, and we're going to make it we'll make it red, so it really, and in fact I'm not going to make it red, we're already using that color, sorry guys. We'll just make it this kind of weirdy turquoisey color. There we go. So we know that's a 4-hour level. Okay, so we'll see if price does get above this. We can always break it down on the hourly after that, and we'll see. We get that final push into this, potentially get a Wednesday high of the week, and maybe get a little bit of a fade for a 20-30 pip move in during London, but we'll see. All right, so that's your Euro USD. Pound again dipped, rebalanced, nice move away. It's a little bit clearer. I would say. Just as quick analysis on this, to be honest, I would say this is probably where we're going to end up. Let me just drop down to the hourly and see how that looks. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. What's the price range? About 30 pips. Ideally, what I would like to see on this is for price to stop moving. Okay, and if price stops moving, and drops back into this area here, okay, before it takes out these highs here, and potentially this area here, but mainly these highs here, that would be better. Okay, so a nice drop into this area here, and then effectively, a drop and then a bounce into these highs, opens up the range, tightens up the risk, and makes for an easier trade during London. So I'd like to see the pound USD stop. So this is still on the list for tomorrow, so I'll get up tomorrow, obviously usual time, and I'll see what's going on during London. The pound Japanese yen, as I said during the look ahead, we're probably going to get a bounce on this, which we have. We did get a little bit of downside first, but I like I said, this is more upside than it is downside for me, and it's Japanese yen related. It's got nothing to do with the pound on this. So again, expecting a little bit more upside, but it's a bit messier in terms of flows. I wouldn't want to do anything with this. It's more just using it as a tool. Although having said that, actually having said that, because there's so much of an imbalance over here, this may pop, but again, it's dependent on Japanese yen. So yeah, I'm going to leave it. I am going to leave this, but I do like the drop here, the reversal, and then a little bit of a move. So what I'll do, just in the interest of keeping something alive on the pound, Japanese yen, this area here is an area, I'm going to make it white, okay, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, guys. I just want to drop down to the 15 minutes. I just want to see what the 15-minute looks like. Just give me a second. Yeah. Now the reason I've not noted a target if it does drop into this, there's so much of an imbalance over here. The range is wide enough for me to take my 20-30 pips right and it not even get anywhere near this, so it's irrelevant. Yeah. But as far as a full range, you're talking, it's a good distance. I mean, I'd even go as far as to say it's probably over 100 pips, almost. Yeah, 85. In fact, if you take the full range, which is probably around about here, yeah, it's about 100 pips. Yeah. So there's more than enough range for me to get what I'd be looking for, at least anyway. So definitely worth keeping an eye on this. Pound Aussie dollar, nice drop. Definitely, I'm liking this. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So we excuse me, we need to see price keep continuing on the weekly. This is probably going to be a next week trade, but if it continues and it gets below the open of the previous week and it continues, not too bothered about getting below this just yet, but I do need to see last week negated, at least the full body of the candle negated, and then we can start thinking about these lows down here. And remember, as I mentioned, I'm not making a reference to this area down here. I'm making a reference to these lows and all the liquidity that's building up under here. Okay, but this will be a focus pair for next week. USD, Japanese yen, just continuing to grind, but not really much for us on this. Very messy. CAD, 4 hour, again, there is liquidity above. Not something that I'd be interested in doing, although, having said that, what we can do now, because we've had that first initial response off that level, okay, it would have been better if that candle just there, that up candle, took out this high and this high, but it didn't. But what we'll do, we will make a note of this candle and this candle. Okay, and we'll make this yellow. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll drop down to the 4 hour and we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, you see how it lines up nicely with this. So perfect scenario is it drops, it takes out these two lows here, it dips into this candle here, okay, and I'm being super anal here, guys, but effectively there. Okay, so if price dips into this, I wouldn't want to see it much past this point. I'd like to see a reaction away from this, and a pretty aggressive reaction away from that as well. If that happens, then we're on for this high and these highs over here and these highs over here. But again, there's absolutely no rush on this because the ranges are more than enough to do what we need to do. Okay, so we'll leave it about there. That should do it. Euro JPY. I'm not sure why it's like that, but so we are getting a bit of it's dipping, reversing, and it's interesting that today it took out yesterday's low. That is quite interesting. Let's just drop down to the 4 hour and see what the 4 hour looks like. Yeah, may get a bit of upside on this, which bodes well for the pound Japanese yen to continue going higher as well. Yeah. So in terms of cross pair analysis, this actually helps the idea of this. But probably what's going to end up happening during Asia, this is just going to keep grinding higher, and it's not going to give us an opportunity to get into this, which happens quite often. And let's just see what the Aussie dollar Japanese yen's doing. Yeah, you see, same, confirming what we're seeing on the Japanese yen, which is a lot of weakness at the minute. So bodes well for the pound Japanese yen idea that it's going to continue going higher. We just need to see that small pullback first, and I may place during Asia this evening a pending buy limit, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll take a look at the markets in the next couple of hours and see. But yeah, all good. Gold continuing to drop lower. I had a look at this earlier. Okay, it's just kind of bouncing around a little slightly higher today, but it was down today, and I want to see this continue. I do want to see this continue. There's a lot of liquidity down here, so I think this is just going to continue to bleed lower, which bodes well because I can just pick up some more physical gold. So looking good, looking good. Silver, again, not a great deal. We have started a new month, so we will see what this month brings for silver. Long term, $35, but we shall see. All right, guys, so I'm going to leave it at that. Sorry the video is a little bit longer than normal, but a lot of information on the Euro USD that I went through. Get a notepad because obviously there's a lot of information there, so you might need to watch it a few times just to kind of get a feel for what I was talking about. And as always, guys, I hope everybody's well, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. If I see anything on the pound Japanese yen this evening, I'll throw that out there, and then obviously I'll do an update tomorrow. And if not, then we'll see what happens in terms of updating. It might go into Thursday for the next update, but we'll see. All right, guys, so take care, and I will speak to you soon.